Tonight, funeral services begin for the victims of the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting.
A man is sentenced for a hit and run.
And fantasy sports are being targeted in a court ruling.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 News. I'm Salvatore Sperazza.
And I'm Abby Buttacavoli.
Funeral proceedings have begun for 3 of the victims who were killed in a rampage at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh on Saturday. One service was held at the Rodef Shalom Temple to honor brothers Cecil and David Rosenthal. Another was held at the Pittsburgh Jewish Community Center to honor Dr. Jerry Rabinowitz.
Blue lights lit up the skies in Pittsburgh Monday night in tribute of the 11 citizens killed in the deadliest attack against the Jewish community in U.S. history. The Tuesday morning services occurred just hours before President Trump paid a visit to the synagogue, where he was greeted by Rabbi Jeffrey Myers and Israel's ambassador to the U.S., Ron Dermer.
SUNY Oswego's graduate program has seen a substantial increase in enrollment over the past 5 years. According to school leaders, enrollment has risen by 14.5% since 2013. Dr. Kristen Eichhorn, Dean of Graduate Studies, says, "One of the things we're really proud of is the diversity of our programs throughout all 4 SUNY Oswego's colleges and schools." This year marks 70 years since SUNY Oswego began its graduate and education program.
A Syracuse man has been sentenced to 3 to 9 years in prison for a hit-and-run crash, leaving a 2-year-old dead and 2 others injured back in 2017. 19-year-old Felix Santos hit a man and 2 young children in May of last year and then fled to North Carolina. He was arrested there a month and a half later. Santos pled guilty to 3 counts of manslaughter, leaving the scene of an accident and reckless driving. Prosecutors say he was under the influence of alcohol and he was driving at 60 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone.
The city of Syracuse is looking to add snow shoveling robots to help clear the sidewalks in the city. The city has joined the Startup in Residence program, which allows the startup companies to connect with government agencies. Syracuse is now looking for tech companies to join the program. Syracuse's Director of Innovation, Adria Finch, says the solutions are being sought to range from data systems to autonomous sidewalk clearing apparatuses. According to city officials, this type of innovation is also being discussed to make it easier to collect garbage and approve permits.
SUNY Oswego is home to many iconic buildings throughout campus. As Jacob Manroe explains, Penfield Library recently celebrated its 50th anniversary of being open.
On October 27th, the anniversary event gave students and locals a look into the history of Penfield Library.
We have the book sale going on. We have a scavenger hunt, which kind of takes you, quote unquote, back in time to explore some of the ways that things used to work in the library as opposed to how they work now. We have a magic radio station where you can press a button and listen to recordings from our archives. We have a photo booth where you can have a picture taken of yourself, and it will put you into an old picture from our archives.
Students like Cordell Sherwood often use the library, but don't always realize the way it used to be.
Today is the 50th anniversary of Penfield Library, and it's got a great scavenger hunt, and it's filled with lots of information. You can learn about the history and resources within the library.
There were 7 stations in the scavenger hunt, each with their own unique bit of library history. On the second floor of Penfield Library is station number 6, where it asks you to dial in the publication date 1897, previously found in station number 5. By dialing and listening in, you can get your next clue to the scavenger hunt.
The scavenger hunt here is really great. It's helped students such as myself learn how things were done in this library many years ago and how different it was.
I just hope that people are interested to see what we have and to know about all of the interesting archival materials we have, local history and college history, which I also think is a thing many people might not realize that the library has.
If you would like to find out more information on Penfield Library and its resources, you can visit oswego.edu/library. So not only does Oswego have those really awesome programs, they also have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week librarian service. And I'm not sure if you know about it or not.
Actually, I do. Being a freshman, I'm from Johnson, and we have our little GST program, and we actually had a full-on module about navigating through the library, seeing what they have to offer, and I thought it was pretty enlightening.
Absolutely, and I think honestly the services that they provide us and allowing us these opportunities are so helpful.
110% agree. SUNY Oswego has finished celebrating their Friends and Family Weekend, an important event for students to go out and socialize with their families. William Corsi gives us some insight to the student condition and why it's important to get involved.
Imagine this for a moment. You're a freshman here at SUNY Oswego. It's a cold, gray Saturday afternoon, like this one, and you've finished up all your work. You want to do something fun, but you haven't made any strong friendships yet, you don't know what's going around on campus, and the college quad is completely empty. This means that you might not have any options to do, and
they spend their free time alone in their rooms. But this isn't good for freshmen, as it can lead to feelings of detachment, insecurity, or even depression.
a recent study found that around 1 in 5 college students suffer from feelings of anxiety or depression, with freshmen being more likely to feel the symptoms. And when talking to students here at SUNY Oswego, that much seems true.
I know I had a lot of friends that went here, and they did feel that feeling of, alone, away from their parents, really, for the first major time. So, I know how that has affected some of my friends here at Oswego their freshman year.
Because of schoolwork, yeah. Purposely isolating myself, though.
This is why events like Family and Friends Weekend are important, because it gets students involved and gives them a chance to be socially active with other people.
As you can see here, there's an entire wall filled with posters of clubs and events all over the campus to encourage students to go out, make friends, try new things, and overall have fun. College can be a scary place, but it's also a great place to make connections. William Corsi reporting for WTOP.
The Mary Walker Health Center offers counseling services for SUNY Oswego students. For more information, visit the Health Center or the SUNY Oswego website.
New York State has filed a lawsuit against Harris Jewelers for claims of deceptive methods used to trick veterans into paying more for their merchandise. Attorney General Barbara Underwood announced the lawsuit on Monday, claiming Harris Jewelers' charity campaign known as Operation Teddy Bear was used to lure service members into illegal, high-priced housing contracts. The company has retail stores near military bases across the country, including one in Fort Drum in northern New York. According to Syracuse.com, the lawsuit reports Harris Jewelers marks prices up 600 to 1,000% above wholesale prices.
Albany State judge rules fantasy sports are a form of competitive gambling as stated by the Constitution. But the current legality of this beloved American pastime is under the magnifying glass. Cornelius Murray, an Albany lawyer who represented the gambling addict, says the practical effects is that the state should shut it down immediately. The case is based on a principle that gambling should not be a game of skill, but a game of chance. This would affect fantasy hosting sites such as DraftKings and FanDuel. The State Gaming Commission is working on regulations to allow sports gambling to continue, possibly in New York in 2019.
According to federal election records, the 22nd district has seen the most spending ever in a House race to influence voters in New York State. Independent political groups have spent over $13.4 million in the race between Representatives Claudia Tenney and Anthony Brindisi. The sides are spending big money as a last attempt to advertise in the region. Tenney, the New Hartford Republican, and Brindisi, a Utica Democrat, are battling against each other in one of the nation's most competitive House races this year.
Coming up later tonight, President Trump proposes a controversial immigration order.
And Brazil elects a new president. Now let's take a quick look at the weather with Storm Team 10 Chief Meteorologist Alex Bielfeld. Alex?
Thanks, guys. Standing outside, it's pretty chilly out here. I wish I was inside right now. Looking at temperatures across the region, you can see right now in Oswego, we're sitting around 40. Heading up into the higher elevations, look at that. Lowville, you're in the 20s. Heading inland, too, you're near the freezing mark. Looking at our satellite radar, you can see dry conditions right now, but that is going to change as we have a storm system right now in the Midwest that is going to be a prolonged event and affect us for our Halloween tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. Tomorrow is Halloween. Now, here's your trick-or-treat forecast. Temperatures in the mid-50s, and that rain will be in the area. Coming up after the break, I'm going to show you how much rain we're going to expect over the next few days. You're watching WTOE 10 Nightly News.
next. Absolutely. You know, Dan Kane, you know, this is his second year. Have at least one shot. But communicate and just, you have to go back to the basics. Absolutely wrong. Because right now, 1 and 2 in the SUNY app. If you can win both of those games, sick and tired, Brandon. If the other team can win 1 point, hey, Vanderbilt. Oh, absolutely. Come on. Just give me the 1-0 lead, all right? No. Or watching Laker Connection. Connections here on WTOP 10.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey guys, I think I'm a little shiny. Can someone help with that, please?
So you ready for tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
So, you know you're gonna start off the show like suspended from the ceiling, right? So you're all set with that. So yeah, just remember everything else we talked about and make sure you follow the prompter.
I mean, don't I always?
No, just do what we talked about, okay?
Alright, no problem. Let's go.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News, everyone. I'm your chief meteorologist, Alexander Bielfeld. Looking at temperatures right now across the region, we're in the 40s in the northeast, but look at that towards the Midwest and the Ohio River Valley. We're in the upper 50s to near 60. That warm weather will make it to us, but that warm weather does mean some rain that we are expecting, a long-lasting event too. Right now, looking at satellite radar, we are dry. A few clouds are around. They're going to begin to build as we head into tomorrow with this system right here in the Midwest associated with this cold front that's going to make its way east-northeast and bring us some rain for our Halloween. Yeah, that's right. For trick-or-treaters, I'm sorry to say, but we are going to see some rain in the forecast for the time to go get some free candy, right? But let's time the rest of that out as we're going to be in this prolonged event until the weekend. So right now, looking at tomorrow, early, or in the afternoon rather, you can see see some showers beginning to work their way into the region. And for that trick-or-treat time, same thing, that cold front will be right over us, and we're going to be expecting some rain. And moving on out, our next system, we get a little bit of a break Thursday night, and our next system begins to move into the region on Thursday, continues to move north through the afternoon on Thursday, and that's going to continue to move north into our Thursday night. So any plans Thursday night look to be a washout as well, and that's going to continue into Friday morning, into Friday afternoon, into the evening. Friday night plans look to be a wet one too as well. And we're just in a really wet pattern. Especially, we've been experiencing that wet pattern over the last few weeks or so. And into Saturday, same thing, scattered showers, but it does begin to pull off to the east, northeast, and we'll be left with some lake effect showers for Saturday night. Now, how much rain can we see? Look at this. This is through Saturday evening, remind you though. You can see upwards to 1.5 to 2 inches. Look at that. 2.5 in Cleveland. And behind me, we got Rome. We're sitting at close to 3 inches, and that's because we're just in this moisture feed. Now, looking at the rest of the 7 days, you can see tomorrow's Halloween, but that rain will be in the forecast, and that rain is in the forecast all the way into the weekend. Don't forget to turn back your clocks on Saturday night. We do dry out for the latter part of the weekend. Coming up after the break, we have more news and sports. You're watching WTOP 10 Night.
It's taste, not toast.
Hi, I'm Anthony Citron, and for one view a day, you can help producers at WTOP get the recognition they deserve for their work. For just 30 minutes a day, you can help these students make sure their work does not go unnoticed. Please, click the link below and help these students get the recognition they deserve. All it takes is one view a day.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. A spokesman to the special counsel of Robert Mueller has notified the FBI about a scheme to discredit Mueller. Back in October, many news outlets received reports from a woman claiming to have politically damaging misconduct accusations against Mueller. However, no reports have been made to confirm these allegations. According to NPR.org, at least 2 conservative media personalities have been linked to these claims, which were designed to discredit Washington reporters. All of these claims against Robert Mueller have been confirmed to be hoaxes.
As he prepares for the home stretch of a midterm campaign blitz, President Trump has zeroed in on immigration to motivate Republicans, especially in some crucial border state races. In a new interview, he's made a controversial promise regarding the idea of birthright citizenship that's in direct conflict with the Constitution. Karen Kafer reports from Washington.
President Trump says he'll use an executive order to end the right to citizenship for children born to non-citizens and undocumented immigrants on U.S. soil.
A person comes in, has a baby, and the baby is essentially a citizen of the United States for 85 years with all of those benefits. It's ridiculous.
Such a proposal would face immediate legal challenges. The 14th Amendment of the Constitution says all persons born in the U.S. are citizens of the U.S. The president's comments came in an interview with Axios released Tuesday, 1 week before Election Day, as he seizes on immigration in closing arguments to voters. On Monday, the White House announced the deployment of 5,200 troops to the border with Mexico, as thousands of Central American migrants make their way toward the U.S.
The president's simply determined to make sure that we got the manpower on the border to provide the support as appropriate to the Border Patrol, to continue to harden our border to ensure that the people that are applying into our country are doing so through ports of entry and under the color of the law.
While Trump believes the issue will energize the GOP in border states with key Senate races, others say it could alienate moderate Republicans in key suburban House races.
We've put more money into veterans care, NIH funding, battling the opiate epidemic. We should be talking about those issues, and we should be reminding voters of the positive things that we have done, not doing this, doom and gloom immigration stuff.
On Wednesday, the president kicks off a stretch of 11 rallies in 6 days. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
According to CNN.com, House Speaker Paul Ryan has called out against the president for this policy, claiming Trump can't end birthright citizenship.
An 11-year-old girl and her 2 6-year-old brothers were killed in Rochester, Indiana. The siblings were struck by a 24-year-old woman driving a 2017 Toyota Tacoma. An 11-year-old boy, unrelated to the siblings, was also hit by the pickup and was airlifted to a hospital with many fatal injuries, including multiple broken bones. According to authorities, at the time of the incident, the flashing emergency stop arm was extended, and by law, you were required to stop. Despite this, no charges or citations have been issued against the woman at this time.
A notorious mob boss was killed in prison this morning, just 1 day after being transferred. According to CNN, James Whitey Bulger was found unresponsive at the U.S. Penitentiary Hazleton in Brewston Mills, West Virginia. The 89-year-old was pronounced dead by the Preston County Medical Examiner after failed life-saving measures. The prison's bureau says no staff or other inmates were injured. A federal jury convicted Bulger of 31 counts, including racketeering, extortion, money laundering, drug dealing, and weapons possession. The jury also found him guilty in 11 killings from 1973 through 1985. He was serving more than 2 life sentences.
Coming up next, we have sports with Mike Morano.
You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
You know who's going off in fantasy this week? Drew Brees.
Brees with time.
You know, you guys are sleeping on Odell Beckham Jr., though. I think he's scoring 3 TDs this week.
And it throws, it's Beckham across the middle.
No, tell me, the Bears' defense is what's going to go off this week. I mean, holy
Chicago Bears.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. Could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Michael Mariner bringing you your sports update. The Oswego State women's volleyball team secured a SUNYAC playoff spot over the past weekend. Reporter Nick Ketter spoke to the team to see how they're preparing.
Last weekend, the SUNY Oswego women's volleyball team secured a spot in the SUNYAC playoffs. With just 3 games remaining in the regular season, I spoke with the team to see what their mindset is heading into the big dance.
Everyone's super pumped and everyone's really looking forward to it. On the bus ride, the energy was just really great. Everyone was just so happy.
We're definitely excited and we're all working hard, giving it our all every practice so we can go far into the playoffs.
This Lakers team has proved they know what they have to do to get through SUNYACs.
We led the SUNYAC in blocking per set and digs per set, so our defense has been pretty good. We'll need to pick up our serving a little bit and just be a little bit cleaner with our attacking. Those are 2 areas of focus for us this week, and then just have good energy.
We've only lost 1 match that went to 5 so far this year, so it's a lot of volleyball going to 5 sets, so that just shows how much endurance we have and how hard we play for every ball.
The connection among all the players and just the energy everybody brings, because we're all so connected and we talk to one another all the time and make sure, and just as Sully said, that the ball never drops because we communicate on the court, and off the friendship that we have off the court as well definitely helps when it comes to game time.
The Lakers look to finish the season strong as they head toward the SUNYAC playoffs. The SUNYAC Volleyball Championship starts Tuesday, October 30th. From Laker Hall, reporting, I am Nick Ketter for WTOP 10 Sports.
From their work.
The Lakers ended their last 3 regular season games with a 2-1 record. Oswego takes on Brockport to kick off their SUNYAC playoff on October 30th at 6 p.m. The Northwest Women's Hockey League has selected Erin Stewart for its Player of the Week and Avery Webster of its Rookie of the Week. Stewart recorded her first hat trick as well as 2 assists as the Lakers defeated King's College by a score of 10-1. Stewart leads Lakers in goals, points, and tied for the first assist. As well as Webster, she recorded 2 goals and 2 assists in their win against King's College. The women's team certainly has a lot to look forward to with the talent that they have. Now, heading over to the field hockey, the women finished out in disappointing fashion, losing at Union College on Saturday by a score of 6-1. The Lakers were able to break the shutout, with senior Katie Reynolds notching the only goal for the game. Abby Testo led the team with 3 shots on goal. In the end, the Lakers had a record of 5-4 at home, but just couldn't get it done on the road, sporting a 6-1 record away, and finishing the season with a 6-10 on the year. Now moving over to football, Browns fans can finally rejoice as their head coach Hugh Jackson was fired yesterday afternoon. After slowly turning around the Browns season this year, the Browns management thought the power struggle between Hugh Jackson and offensive coordinator Todd Haley would be poisonous to their starting quarterback Baker Mayfield, who the team is much more focused on. Hugh Jackson will leave the Browns with a 3-36-1 record, and in total, Hugh Jackson fields an 11-44-1 record in his career, just second worst in NFL history. Now we look at the crazy NFL trade deadline that is unfolding on us today. One crazy trade that happened today involved the Houston Texans, who looks to bolster up their roster in the AFC South, which is wide open at the moment. They traded for 5-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion Demaryius Thomas and 2019 7th-round pick for a 2019 4th-round pick and a 2019 7th-round pick. And now we head to New York for a quick basketball report with the New York Knicks versus the New York Nets. The New York Knicks here in Madison Square Garden lost their first matchup against the Nets here, and now the second matchup they look to win out here with Jared Allen pushes off Mitchell Robinson, says, "Get off me, son," and ducks it down here, showing that he's saying he can't guard me. But the Knicks overheard that and now running down the same play, giving the ball here to Noah Vonleh. He says, "What did you say to me?" and throws it down, showing Jared Allen just who he is and make him feel more humble. Coming out now here, Caris LeVert gets picked off by Mitchell Robinson, who got dunked on later, says they take that for data as he's coming down here. Look at this replay again. A fierce dunk here to give the Knicks here a quick lead ahead by 14. Going down later in the game, they're not done yet. Mitchell Robinson's not done yet. So he gets the alley-oop here. Another fierce dunk here just to show that he's not here just to get dunked on by Jared Allen. Now we head now to later. Spencer Dinwiddie trying to get the Nets back in this game. He's trying to join the dunk contest here as he throws just a little bit of salt and pepper over here. Could give the Nets some life here. Knicks up by 12 at this point. Frank Ntilikina trying to put the finishing touch on this game. Throws it off the backboard and gets the N1 to put the finishing touches. Frank Ntilikina would have 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists as the Knicks put away the Nets and go 2-5 on the season.
Whew, that was a lot to take in. I mean, I know you just talked basketball, but World Series, Red Sox took it. What do you think about that?
As a Mets fan, I'm very excited. You know, to see the Dodgers lose back-to-back games, back-to-back World Series. I just think it was a great feeling.
I can respect that.
Awesome. So, Alex, Halloween, it's looking rainy. Is that something we should look forward to past then?
Yeah, sadly, tomorrow for the trick-or-treaters, it does look rainy. Temperatures will be in the mid-50s, so it will be warm. But there is rain in the forecast, which could be heavy at times. And that rain is not just going to last for tomorrow. It looks like it's going to last into the weekend with upwards of 2.5 inches in some spots. You know, just can't break this wet fall pattern that we've been in for the last week or so.
Maybe eventually we'll get dry, but maybe not for now.
Hopefully. Well, fantastic. That's our report for tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for What's the Tea, Sis?
Thank you for watching. Have a great night, everyone.
Welcome to Understood.org, a free online resource for parents of kids with learning and attention issues, with personalized recommendations, tools, and daily access to experts to help your child thrive. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Guys, I don't feel so good. Shouldn't have had that chili for lunch.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all, we approach reemployment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Donate to Goodwill, where your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Ha 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 ha